This is the Vela electric bike, and I must give you kind of a heads up. It's a crowdfunded bike. It's on Indiegogo right now, but I was excited to check it out because it's actually being delivered in Brazil, which is where this kind of started. There's this gentleman named Victor. He built one of these sort of like this for himself. People were excited about it. They like the vintage style and the efficiency and, you know, the battery. Everything's just really clean on this bike. And so he decided to launch a crowdfunding campaign. It was successful. It was like February of 2015. And, you know, now we're getting, you know, it's kind of mid-July and got a kind of a 30-day time frame here before this reaches its goal here in the United States. But it's neat to see something like this that's actually put together, but fairly unique in the world of electric bikes. There's a lot of custom parts in play here that I haven't really seen before, but a few things that I have. So I'll hit the drivetrain specs real quick, or the power specs. We've got an 8-fun, 350 watt internally geared rear hub motor here. Silver, kind of matches the spokes. It's fairly standard. I see a lot of these. They're pretty reliable, kind of zippy and lightweight, and not too large. They freewheel, which is cool too for efficiency. Then the battery pack here, that's one of the most unique parts of the bike. It's actually inside this sort of rather large seat tube, and it's a 36 volt, 10 amp hour. It uses 18650 Samsung cells. So again, 360 watt hours, 350 watt motor. That's like normal in terms of, you know, an average electric bike in the United States. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You're kind of balancing weight and efficiency. I think what's really unique about the bike, again, is just it's how it's put together. They keep the weight pretty low, centrally located right there. And I think to a lot of people, you might not even realize it's an electric bike. When you come up to the kind of the cockpit area, you just got your brakes. It's nice Pro Max with brake inhibitors right here, motor inhibitors. And that's it. There's no LCD display telling you how fast you're going, how far you're going, the exact battery level. You don't get that. And, you know, in some ways it's like, oh, you don't know. But in another sense, it's just super clean and really resembles just a classic bike. I also really like the bell. They've got everything kind of silver matched. Beautiful light up here. Spinninga. This is a swing light. And one in the rear. It's mounted on this rear fender. Really like this. Again, this is another Spinninga. Looks like a Vena or something, and they're both wired in, so they both run off of that main battery pack, which is awesome because you don't have to, like, you know, put AAA batteries or something in there. I love that. To activate these, you do have to flick this little switch on the bottom though, and they do run even if the bike is not powered up. So I like that. It's kind of a safety feature. Let's say that you want to ride this just as a regular bicycle, just pedal power. You can do that and you can still have some of that safety kicking in. Or if the battery completely drains on you, you know, you've just exhausted it with a really long ride, you'll still have a little bit of voltage there, enough to power these like LED lights, unless it's really, really drained. It's been sitting around for a long time. Right here on this unique control box, we've also got a female USB port, and you can kind of see it right there. So that's great for if you want to, you know, charge your MP3 player, or maybe you've got your phone mounted right here on the handlebars. You can totally run those things off of that power port. I love that. We've also got some LED lights down here, and those sort of switch on and let you know that the bike's powered up. And they've got it kind of this leather material over this that really matches these padded grips well, and the saddle, and we've got the springs and everything. So it's all styled, you know, it's styled, but it's still comfortable, and I love that. And we've got a nice rear rack here, silver, again with the silver motor, front rack silver, so just beautiful that way. We've got the nice Vela logo in the front, and the bike does come in 4 different colors. So we've got kind of an olive green going on here, and then they've got sort of a vanilla, kind of a cream color, a blue, and then a red. And they customize this further by allowing you to choose sort of a frame size, either between high step that we're seeing here or step through. And the step through kind of has, you know, a down tube and a top tube, but it's kind of like a diamond step through. So that's going to make it a little bit stiffer, just make it easier to approach. I think that one comes in 19-inch and 22-inch, whereas this high step here, it's like 20-inch, 22-inch, and 23-inch. I believe I'm looking at 23-inch. So this is the largest, heaviest one they've got, and I weighed it a few minutes ago. It was like 49.5 pounds, so not bad. Part of that weight savings may be due to, you know, it's a single speed, so there isn't like a cog set back here. There's no derailleur, any of that kind of thing. Single speeds are nice because the chain's usually pretty tight, and you don't have to worry about as much maintenance going on. They do have this nice kind of a I guess, chain guard here, color matched. Kind of got kicked earlier, so it's a little bit bent. It won't be that way when you get yours. And I love of course, Welgo's a brand I like. And these are pretty decent. Again, style, I think, was the reason they chose these. They look nice. Front chain ring. And then down here we've got a cadence sensor. So it's actually like a 12 magnet, real small, really nicely integrated cadence sensor. And that's all this bike has. There's no throttle or anything. It's just you pedal, it senses that, and it kicks in. It smoothly accelerates you up to a max speed of about 20 miles per hour. Again, no display panel, so you just kind of go with it, or maybe you've got your Strava app open or something like that. But that's cool. And I love how all of the wires are really well integrated. You can see they go here into the down tube, they follow right down. Got a little wire here for kind of the cadence sensor stuff. And then it follows all the way back here on the chainstay with a quick disconnect. So if you do need to do some maintenance on that hub motor, maybe you need to true your wheel or put on some different tires, you can. So in addition to those frame sizes, they've also got kind of some wheel size options. I think the frames are actually kind of similar, and they just sort of cut off the seat tube height, maybe a few other little adjustments, but wheel size is one way you can also sort of lower the bike down. And what we're working with right here, these are 700C Kenda Quest tires. So they're a little bit larger, so 700 by 35C, and they do offer sort of a 26 inch. So again, this is about 28 inches. 26 kind of drops the axle height and everything, brings it a little bit closer to the ground. I want to call it the kickstand while we're down here. U-Peak, again, style is what I keep thinking when I look at this bike. I definitely like just the kind of the balance and the aesthetics and everything. And one of the most custom parts, of course, is that seat tube. And I've got a gentleman here, Murillo. How's it going, Murillo?
Hey, pretty good. How are you?
Good. So you're on the Vela team?
Yeah.
And working on the Model 1 right here.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Exactly.
Can you help me maybe take the seat off and show me what's in there?
Of course.
Cool. While he's doing that, I'm going to kind of point out that he's using a special tool. It kind of got like a star hex wrench thing so that it'll be difficult for people to, steal your seat. And there is the battery. Look at that. Whoa. Very cool. And it's got the same charging port. You see that black hole right there? As we've got right here on the control pack. That works with this charger with what looks like, to me, like a guitar. You plug this into an amp or something. It's metal, so it's pretty durable. If you drop it or something, it shouldn't crack. This weighs like less than a pound, the charger. So very easy to take along with you if you need to top this off. Maybe you're commuting with the bike or something like that. And it's pedal assist only, so you should be getting, somewhat decent range, above 20 miles, depending on your weight and terrain and everything. The battery, I was weighing it earlier, it's under 5 pounds, so it's not super heavy, but if you wanted to reduce the weight of the bike and take it down to 45 pounds, you could take this out. The final production model actually will have a quick release on the front, so that's nice. You pair that with the battery removal system, and that's pretty cool. I also wanted to say that you keep an eye on these LEDs down here. The top one is red right now, but if they both turn red, that means the battery's getting pretty close to running out. Again, that's important because there's really no dashboard up front. And when you're parking the bike, maybe you're arming that alarm system, a little bit of electricity is being used at the racks. But when you get home and you're ready to finish with the bike, just press that power button again and the bike will turn off. And that way, again, none of the systems are on, the light turns off, and you'll be set and won't be, slowly sort of phantom discharging the battery that way. And earlier I was kind of looking in there and asking myself, could this battery kind of bounce around? But it plugs right into the connector at the bottom, and I'm told that it's magnetic, actually. So it's designed to kind of reduce rattling or bouncing. And I think that's kind of nice since this is a bicycle. There we go. It's slid on. You want to go ahead and help me back with the the seat? Thank you so much, Murillo. And then listen to that. Did you hear that? That's one of the other cool features about this bike. It has kind of an alarm system and some fancy settings. There's even like a GPS, and you guys have like an app or something that allows you to...
Yeah, well, actually it sends the Google Maps location straight as a text message to only your phone. So it's like saved to the SIM card, and it will send it only to your phone. So if you activate it and call this number, SIM, which will be a number in the SIM card, it'll send you its location to your phone. Okay, and earlier, we were talking about Brazil and bike theft and stuff, and that was one of the areas that was really emphasized here. It was like, okay, if we're putting this kind of money, by the way, this is $18.99 retail, and it's a little bit cheaper on the Indiegogo campaign right now if you kind of get in there.
You know, that's a lot of money, especially if you're in Brazil, and depends on your lifestyle and the job you have. But if you're investing in a mode of transportation really like this, you want to be able to keep track of it. So the GPS is one way to do that. And then there's this sort of theft deterrent. The bike comes with 2 of these. It's like a little remote thing. You kind of slide this down like that. There's a little power button. It's like the lightning bolt here. That turns the bike on. So if we do that, there we go. And then you can kind of see like the LED lights come on. There it is. Perfect. And then there's this sort of lock button here, and you can hear the little chirp. And then it sort of senses vibration and movement. So if you shake the bike a little bit, the siren comes on, and we've got it set sort of at low right now so we don't disrupt the neighbors. And then you've got this unlock button down here, and we're all set to go again. It's even got the little bell, so you can just, like, where's my bike? Where is it? In the parking lot, that kind of thing. Definitely cool. Cool little extra. Again, the bike has a 1-year warranty, just sort of comprehensive. The frame has a 5-year warranty. So combined, you get 1 year on the drivetrain stuff and the motor and the battery, and 5 years on the frame. And if you want, for $150 extra, they can upgrade that. So you have a 2-year battery, 10-year frame. Pretty phenomenal. That's not a whole lot of money. And I think a replacement pack, if you need it, if you use this a whole lot, maybe it wore out after a couple years, you could upgrade that and get a replacement for a couple $100 is what they're saying. So not bad at all in terms of price. To take good care of the battery, I'd recommend, take it inside if it's super cold or super hot out, and charge it. Try to keep it between 20 and 80%, and just protect it like you would. So I think that's sort of enough talking. We've hit most of the major, specs and stuff on this bike. Let's see. So I'm back on the bike. I'm gonna go ahead and activate them, turn it on. Okay, there we go. Just all set. I like the body position. You've got these sort of swept back, bit of a riser going on with these bars. And it makes for an upright body position that feels really relaxed. You can imagine if you had some gear on that front rack. I should call this out here. Woo! It's got kind of these standard V brakes going on, Pro Max, and they work all right. It's a little bit more classic. Good for a city bike, maybe a commuter, versus a disc brake or something. You get good leverage when you squeeze those brakes, and again, just a nice look. Also, I was noticing on the rear rack there's that loop, sort of these pannier blockers, and it uses that standard gauge tubing, so you could easily use some clip-on panniers and even kind of clip them onto that so that they wouldn't be rattling around too much. The front rack, it's a little more style oriented in my opinion. When you turn like this, see how the rack turns with the fork? That's not ideal for carrying heavier loads. It'd be better if it kind of connected right there to the head tube. But again, it works, and I think it kind of creates that symmetrical look and feel and just adds some highlights, fine touches to it. So let's hop back on. Whew. You're going to get increased range because it's pedal assist only, but you only have that 1 gear. So if you're starting out and you're trying to climb a hill or something, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It might take a pedal stroke or 2 to kind of get that motor kicked in, but once it does, you feel it. You get some good speed going with this thing. So I've had fun. I do want to, again, mention the disclaimer that this is a crowd-funded bike. Things could change, but I felt pretty confident. Having met the guys and heard the story about how this is actually shipping and it's available in Brazil, it's a very similar bike. I think they're tweaking a couple things, and including like the grips and stuff, like using a little bit of a different color, but this is kind of what you should expect to get. And I wish them best of luck building it. It's been fun to check out, and for the full write-up on the Vela Model 1 electric bike, I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com. Ride safe.